So let me start this video out with a statement. All systems are broken, or at least they appear to be broken. Maybe they're on life support. So this is a way of thinking about preparedness. I just kind of wanted to share it with you. I know I'm going to be preaching to the choir here, and I know that I'm not the first one that's probably talked about this. I know that I've heard it in other areas in preparedness. I just can't remember. And being that I read so much and I listen to so many podcasts and stuff like that, I can't really remember exactly where I've heard this the first time. But if you can think of your life and you can think of our world as just a bunch of systems put together. So for instance, I'm driving in my truck, and my truck is built of systems. You know, it's built to put together systems. You got the brake system, transmission, you have the engine. Living in Houston, although not right now, but in a few months, I'm going to be blasting the AC, and so the AC system is a very big, piece of this truck for me, right? So you have all these other systems and stuff, and you can look at our world and where we're at. You can see that a lot of the systems that make up our life, a lot of them are broken, or they're hanging on by a thread. And I think those of us that are in preparedness tend to understand that, tend to see it. And a lot of the times, one of those systems failing, or really having, a critical failure, can cause a lot of disruption. And again, that's why those of us in preparedness, those who are self-reliant, that's why we do what we do, right? That's because we see all of this craziness out there, and we see how fragile our world is. And so I was just thinking of some of the systems that are out there, just our political system that is so broken and so divided. Right now it is just, it's what it is. And these guys that are in office, in politics, they don't care about you. They just care about power. But it is so broken. They don't have a problem going after each other and not really dealing with the important things that are necessary for, the protection of our borders, and, making sure that our infrastructure is up to date, and making sure that we are, our grid is in a good place, so we can weather, storms or in storms of any kind, right? So we have our judicial branch that is kind of broken. You have judges legislating from the bench, and not necessarily just looking at the black and white law. And you have judges making all kinds of laws and different things and passing down things, and really shouldn't be like that. I think a lot of people understand that and recognize it, unless it's your side that the law is passed. Our education system, a lot of people will say that our education system is broken, and I tend to agree with that. I think there's a lot of good stuff out there still, but I tend to agree. There are, it's broken, and there are, like I said, pockets, where things are good, but still, even almost, you can say nature is kind of broken, and not because nature is broken, because it broke itself, but because we've broken it, because we've screwed it up with all the chemicals and junk that we've put into the ground, the runoff that goes into the oceans. In the Gulf of Mexico, there's just big dead space that no life is growing right now, because it's just all this stuff has been poured down, right? And so it's something that they can track. That's pretty dangerous. That's pretty scary when you think about it, right? So sea life is swimming towards this thing, and there's no oxygen, there's no nothing, there's no life there, and they turn around and go back because, man, if I go in there, I'm dead. And so we got this brokenness just in nature. And man, I can go on, and just our financial system is broken, our banking system, all the different systems. And so where am I leading with all of this? Well, first of all, and I know again I'm preaching to the choir here, is that means that you need to be even more responsible for your life. You need to be more responsible for all these systems that come in and play a part of your life. You need to know what's going on out there, and just, living our lives, and hey, let me go to work, let me come home, let me veg out in front of the television. I understand life is difficult, life is hard, long days. I've had those days before, but that doesn't mean that we can be irresponsible in what we know and what we see is out there. You have a responsibility to yourself and to your family, and to the people around you, to be there for them, and like your kids, take care of them, and those types of things. So that's the one area where I wanted to talk about, or that's one aspect that I wanted to come from, is you are responsible, right? Again, preaching to the choir, I know that. But the second thing is this: start evaluating the systems in your life and looking at the ones that are most critical to you. Now, there's going to be some that are not as critical as others, although I would say they all really play a big part. But start looking at those systems in your life that need to be shored up, those that need to be taken better care of. Maybe it's your finances, maybe it's your career. You can say that. Maybe it's your marriage, your relationships that need to be taken care of. Maybe it's maybe it's just your home, your home defense, or your home, your protection, right? The security. When was the last time you walked around your home and looked at different things and like, hey, that shouldn't be there, or I need to replace that light, and those different things like that, So start looking at those systems in your life and shoring those up, because they all play a big part. They all are part of the whole, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I've kind of been reflecting on all of this and thinking about this. How can we build systems into our lives to help us be a little bit more self-reliant and be more prepared out there? And I think that's really where we need to focus on. Look at our systems and kind of go from there. So maybe maybe there needs to be something a little bit more formal put down. If anyone has anything, I'd love for you to share that in the comment section. But then I think there's a couple other things that I've been writing down and just kind of reflecting on. So I might turn this video into a couple of different videos, and throughout the week, throughout the days, and just share those out. Just some thoughts that are coming to mind. So anyway, I hope this has been a blessing to you. I would appreciate it if you like and subscribe to the channel. God bless.